Hello everybody, Lars here, and to start things off, we have a great lead in Shadow Charizard. So they switch, which is no surprise, to Lanturn. Go ahead, throw that victory bell. As always, the most they can do is one Thunderbolt or two Surfs, none of which will kill us. Don't ever shield, so we're golden. Now they're going to throw back out Charizard, and hey, we've got a Sludge Bomb with its name on it. Throw that Sludge Bomb, and then boom, here it goes, and goodbye to Shadow Charizard. So here comes Quagsire, a really, really rare pick for Great League. I've seen it a few times, but still, it is extremely rare. So they throw this Earthquake. At this point, it's just over. They realize it. The end. Next up, we have a Lanturn lead. Horrible lead for us, so we're going to say, hey, here comes Medicham. They're going to throw in this Noctowl. We charge up Psychic, throw the Power-Up Punch. They aren't biting. They don't shield. We charge it back up. They're going to throw their attack here. We still have some health left, as we always will with Sky Attack. Use this Psychic again. Now, if they shield, they lose a shield. Had that hit them, great, we would have been in the lead. Either way, it does help us. So, they're going to throw their Shadow Ball. It's not going to do a lot of damage. We're going to farm Knockdown with what we can. They throw another Shadow Ball here. No worries. Bastiodon escapes relatively unscathed. There it goes, and now it's time to throw that Stone Edge. So here goes the Stone Edge. Gonna quick switch to Victory Bell. They say, here comes Guzzlord. Now, Guzzlord is one of those Pokemon, along with Toxapex and Steelix, that were super prevalent, and I mean super prevalent in last season's Catch Cup. However, not seeing them a lot in Open League, but hey, that does happen. So Guzzlord, it has its attack broken. It says, here's Brutal Swing, but just not enough to do against Bastiodon. Now, we have two shields. Our opponent realizes it. They're just going to try to kill us with their fast. However, they are not going to be able to get there because they don't want to lose those fast moves to us. They don't want us to do an additional fast move every time they do a charge because we have two shields. That's it. Game over. And next up, we have Walrein. Now, we're going to quick switch to Victory Bell. They quick switch to Medicham. Rare to see somebody quick switch to a hard counter, but hey, it happens. They're going to throw that Ice Punch. We're going to shield it here. We're going to throw this Leaf Tornado, and they in turn are going to shield as well. Now, we don't get that attack break, but hey, it happens. Now, I'm going to break with tradition. We're not going to shield this because Walrein is weak to both of our Pokemon, so we don't want to waste our last shield by just killing it and having Walrein come in and boot me a few times. So here comes Walrein. That means that whatever they have in the back is probably weak to Medicham since they're bringing it in. Probably not a ghost type. That's why I'm shielding here. And then they bring it out, Azumarill. So this was really rare. I tried to fake it out. I had a feeling they're going to shield, and they do. That's why I threw that Power-Up Punch. I'm going to go ahead and throw a Psychic now because there's nothing they can do to stop me. And then immediately we're switching to Bastiodon. They have a little trick up their sleeve though. This Azumarill does have Hydro Pump, so it does a good chunk of damage to Bastiodon. But hey, no worries, we are still in this. Here comes the Stone Edge, and then boom, it is almost over, and it is over. The end. So this is best case scenario for us with a Alolan Ninetails. They go ahead and quick switch to Umbreon. Now with Umbreon, one of two things to remember. First off, you're going to see them throwing Foul Play. Second, if it is an XL Umbreon, which it is, and since we have an XL Medicham, they're going to go ahead and we are not going to shield. Now, they're going to get super close. It's going to look like they're going to kill us, but they never do. And that is because of just how it works. You don't have to worry about timing or anything like that. Just keep throwing those Power-Up Punches. Their last Foul Play will hit, but it's not going to kill us. And then boom, great place to be in. So here comes Ninetails. Just going to use a Power-Up Punch right before I get KO'd. No worries. Here comes Bastiodon. Now, they're bringing in Galarian Stunfisk. So we both have two shields. That means go ahead and just kill it with your fast move. Don't even fuss with your charged. Just kill it with your fast because there is nothing that Ninetails in the back can do to Bastiodon to even remotely hurt it. So we are golden. They throw one last Rock Slide. Not going to do a lot of damage here. At least enough to kill us. And it is game over. Next up, we have Azumarill. Now, a lot of you have been asking me about this. I quick switched to Victory Bell here. just to try out some new strategies because a lot of people have been asking me. So I wanted to find something that was a little better. And guess what? I did get lucky here. We're going to throw the Sludge Bomb and we're going to say good night to good old Altaria. It is down, and that is that. So guess who's coming back to dinner? It is, of course, well, Sableye, new guest. Bring out Bastiodon. Shouldn't have to tell you what to do here because our goal is to keep our Bastiodon alive while at the same time making sure that Medicham has what it needs to lead this team to victory right now. So Bastiodon's going to be basically just trying to get their shields down and survive here. They're going to go ahead and they're going to throw another foul play. Go ahead, throw that Stone Edge. They quick switched, tried to catch us, but actually it helped us out a ton because now we just need to get one single Psychic to hit. They go ahead, they shield that. Had a feeling they would. Was about 90% sure, but didn't want to try for the bait and have it not work because right now we are in a surefire win position. Go ahead, shield this. Gonna be an play rough, and we're fine. Gonna throw one last little Psychic, and this should do it. Now I shield here because I know they have two charge moves built up. They're gonna use their second one, and then of course Bastiodon's gonna come in, and then boop boop. It is game over. There's 1 and 2. The end. All right, time for the next battle. And they have an Altaria. That is a great lead for us. They go ahead. They quick switch to Ferrothorn. Here's the trick with Ferrothorn. They are going to throw 2, and I mean 2, Power Whips. Don't let it fool you. You do not need to shield if you have an XL Medicham, especially if their Ferrothorn, which 99% of the time it is not just built with attack only. There we go, and perfect. You see that? We're still alive. We have both of our shields. They have an Altaria lead. That spells doom for them. There is very little Pokemon, and I mean very little Pokemon, that can take both Bastiodon and Victory Bell, and of course, he is not one of it. So go ahead, shield it here. Vigoroth sends the first one. It's going to send the second, but we're going to say, you know what? It's no worries. We're going to kill you. And then at this point, it's just game over. There is nothing that Altaria can do, and they know it. So we have Froslass here, and Froslass is kind of a rare find. They go ahead, they switch to Swampert, where we say, hey, no worries. Let's go Victory Bell. Do your thing. This Hydro Cannon going to do some damage, but hey, not going to kill us, and that's what is important. So they're going to run down the clock a little bit, and then they're going to throw Froslass back in. We try to get that Leaf Tornado off, but it is not happening. Here comes Bastiodon, and the Dawn, not too worried about a Shadow Ball. Does some damage, but hey, still farm it down. Don't worry about using that charge. We're going to save it for their last Pokemon. Avalanche here, and the last Pokemon is Bastiodon. I meant to switch to Medicham here. My brain just wasn't working really well. So yeah, it is over, and we're just going to farm him down with our fast. Not quite sure why they're using a charge here, but hey, whatever. And then game over. First part got cut off, but they had a Noctowl. They quick switched to Lickitung. And as always with Lickitung, we're going to go ahead, charge up that Psychic, but do not use it. Use Power Up Punch. The reason why is simple. Because they will always attack us and get 2 Body Slams off, so we have to use a shield. This way ensures that they, most of the time, shield as well. We're going to take them down with us and make it 1 shield versus 1 shield. With that, Noctowl comes back in, throw that Power Up Punch just to do a little bit of damage, and then say goodnight to Medicham. So here comes Bastiodon. They quick switch to a Medicham of their own. We quick switch to Victory Bell. Go ahead, shield this Ice Punch. Don't want it hurting our Victory Bell here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to throw this Leaf Tornado. Now, this is really important because we are down to 0 shields, as are they. However, we do not get that attack break, and that was huge. So here comes Bastiodon. At this point, we look like we are in trouble. But hey, we're going to use this Flamethrower, and then we're going to end Medicham here. There is nothing that this Noctowl can do. It just doesn't have the power it takes to make that Shadow Ball really, really hurt, like a Trevenant or a Froslass. So yeah, there's nothing it can do, and it knows it. Shadow Ball, end of story. Here comes that Stone Edge, and it is goodnight Noctowl, and the end. All right, and it's another great lead for us with Noctowl. They go ahead, they quick switch to Lanturn. We bring out Shadow Victreebel. As always, we can take 2 Surfs or 1 Thunderbolt. Whatever they decide to use, they cannot use a Thunderbolt and a Surf. So do not be afraid when that next charge move comes up, it's not going to kill you. Lanturn is down. They go ahead, they wait the clock out a little bit. We throw a Sludge Bomb here just to get its health down. Don't need to really farm it. Bastiodon's coming back in. And then they're going to go ahead, they're going to quick switch to Medicham. We quick switch to Medicham. Medicham versus Medicham, 2 shields apiece. This can be close depending on what our opponent knows and what they do. They choose to use an Ice Punch. We are not biting here. Psychic, they get a defense break. They are in huge trouble. So with a defense break and a Psychic hit, we are going to shield everything, even if it is an Ice Punch. The reason why is because we have Power Up Punch, so we can do enough damage to kill them at this point without them hurting us. They realize it, game over. So for this battle, we have Bastiodon versus Bastiodon. It's a mirror match. And right here, I immediately need to apologize because I deviate from our normal operating procedure and I do not charge, as you'll see, up that last flamethrower. I was actually watching a movie at the time and something happened, got really distracted. I try not to let stuff distract me when I'm doing PvP, but hey, it happens to all of us. All right, they throw a flamethrower just as we do and just as we have. We're going to throw this flamethrower. No problem. Here it goes. And then boom, we quick switch to Medicham. We should have waited there, folks. We use a power-up punch here. They aren't biting, though. They know what's going on. So we're going to go ahead. We are going to throw a final Psychic. They are going to shield here. There it goes. They use their shield. And Medicham is down. We're bringing in Bastiodon. And you know, it's a tough call, but I chose not to shield here. Leaf Tornado, we do not get the attack break. Farm him down for just a little tiny sliver of energy. I've seen this team before, and as I thought, so here comes Medicham. Really, really great opponent. They did a great job of using this team, so I have to give them lots of credit. At the very end, it was basically just a 50-50, and I chose the right answer, but it could have gone either way. So congratulations to them. They did an outstanding job. And like I said, had it been the other side of the coin, I would have been here, and this video would be here in a couple of days under my losses video. So yeah, great job and well done. All right, we have a Lickitung opposite of our Bastiodon. So as always with Lickitung, we charge up Stone Edge and we use 2 Stone Edges. And then at the end, we ask ourselves, did that Lickitung shield? If it shielded the first Stone Edge or second Stone Edge, as soon, and I mean as soon as we get that second Stone Edge off, we are switching to Medicham. However, this Lickitung did not shield, and so that is great news. We're going to leave Bastiodon in to do one final little fast move, which will end it. There's the second Stone Edge, and then boop. They are going to go ahead. They're bringing in Medicham. We are quick switching to Victreebel. Of course, going to shield this Ice Punch here. Ice Punch being very prevalent amongst Medicham. We, however, do use Power Up Punch. Now, if I wanted to, and if it was closer, what I could have done is I used that Leaf Tornado, but I could have slowed my attacks down, my fast attacks, thereby giving Bastiodon more energy, which would have been, or more health, which equals more energy for me to farm. They realize it, game over. All right, this was a really quick one, and we all have those days. This person had it as well, game over. So we have the very first Deoxys of today. We switch to Victreebel. In turn, they're going to go ahead. They're switching to Noctowl. Very common sight Noctowl is. So throw that Sludge Bomb right before we die, and guess what? Noctowl is down. They take a moment, and then they bring in Umbreon. Now, as a little aside, whenever you're running an ABC team, there are exceptions to this rule, so that's my little disclaimer. However, you generally do not want to bring in your C Pokemon. You want to bring back in your A Pokemon and then switch to C. There are exceptions, as I said, but that's just a little kind of rule of thumb we all try to follow. So, going to use this Stone Edge here. Our goal is to kill this Umbreon because we want Medicham to face Deoxys because Bastiodon is weak to its fast move. However, our secondary goal is to deplete those shields, and Bastiodon is doing a great job of that. So they want to shield, absolutely let them. Totally let them shield. And guess what? They are down to 0 shields. Great news for us. Here comes the foul play. We try to get that off. Had I just been a moment quicker, because this is 2 times speed, I wasn't really thinking. I should have hit the button, but hey, no worries. So we're going to use this Power Up Punch to charge up our Psychic, because Deoxys, of course, resists both. But this way, at the very least, now that Psychic is going to be more powerful. And Deoxys will use Thunderbolt against us because it does not want to use Psycho Boost for the simple reason of lowering its attack. So early on, you're not going to see it use Psycho Boost against you. It's just that simple. And go ahead, shield, and make them work for it. And that is that. Game over. All right, we find a hard counter in Medicham. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to switch to Victory Bell, and then boom, here comes Shadow Drapion, and all it takes is just one crunch to say goodbye to our beloved Victory Bell. But hey, Bastiodon's coming back in. He's going to right the wrongs, and we're not going to use any charge moves, nor are we going to shield. Now, they are going to do a lot of damage, as you can see. However, in the end, we will be okay, we'll be alive, and most importantly, we'll be able to send a flamethrower right to Medicham's face. And there it goes. Here comes the flamethrower. And then, as soon as that flamethrower hits, go ahead and send in a Medicham of our own. Now, we know that there's something in the back that they don't want us to see because they have not switched. So that means they are primed for baiting. Power up that Psychic, but throw the Power Up Punch. Here comes the shield. Boom, that's how you make it happen. You have to be able to discern when and how they're going to bait, and that's how we're going to do it. So, going to throw another Power Up Punch. Unfortunately, they don't bite here, but I know they're going to try to get me to use that last shield, so they're going to go ahead and throw this Ice Punch. There it is. We're going to throw another Power Up Punch here, and there it is. They use their last shield. We throw yet another Power Up Punch, and folks, if I can tell you anything, if there's one thing you can learn from me, it is that Bastiodon should never be in the back, and they realize that too little too late. There it is, game over. All right, so here we have an Altaria. They go ahead, they quick switch to Sableye. As you guys know, use this shield here, but do not use a charge move. Just kill that Sableye with your fast, and you'll be golden. Sableye is down. They go ahead, wait out the clock for a few seconds, as long as they can, and then, guess who's back? It's Altaria. Go ahead, I'm going to throw this Sludge Bomb here, just to do a little bit of damage to our friend Altaria. I get a connection issue, and then, boom, Victory Bell's down, Bastiodon comes in. It is our Medicham versus theirs. We have 1 shield, they have 2. Now, I really was excited about this battle, because I wanted to show everybody it. We've had a few people ask me about this, and here it is. So we both use Psychic to each other. We both do not shield. We're going to go ahead. We're going to throw this Power Up Punch. They shield the Power Up Punch, expecting an Ice Punch. Hey, we're going to go ahead, shield this, expecting an Ice Punch, and it is an Ice Punch. So at this point, they are low enough where Bastiodon can come in and, do its thing. But we wanted to do as much damage as possible because it is a tough battle for Bastiodon. But hey, no problem. Go ahead, just farm them down with your fast. They're going to try to do whatever they can, throw Psychic, throw Ice Punch, but they're just too little too late. Here comes Altaria. We're going to throw this Stone Edge because, hey, why not? There it is, and then that is it. Game over. All right, time for the last battle of the day. Now, I hope you all had a wonderful time, and I hope you all learned something. So, Altaria is out. Lanturn is in. Go ahead. Remember, they're either going to throw 2 Surfs or 1 Thunderbolt. They choose the Surfs route. No problem. They're going to get 1 last Surf off before they die. And there it is. So Victory Bell, although it's low on HP, it is fine. And most importantly, we have those 2 shields still remaining. Here comes Galarian Stunfisk. I accidentally throw that Sludge Bomb, thinking that it would be Altaria. But hey, I made a mistake. About to remedy it, though. Here comes Medicham. They quick switch to Altaria, and it is over. Thanks again, everybody.